Good evening, members of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm going to take roll. Mr. Treves?
Here.
Ms. Ross?
Here.
Mr. Pax?
Here.
Ms. Neff?
Here.
And Mr. McCoy.
Here. I'm gonna need it back so I can read. Okay. Anyone who intends to testify, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, state, I do. I do. And when you come up and it's your turn to offer testimony, please state your full name, address, and that you have been affirmed or sworn in.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. My name is Eric Kietsky. I'm Senior Zoning Officer with Orange Township. I wanted to, first of all, do a housekeeping note. We have a little bit larger audience than we typically do, so we have found out that there's no more space on sign-in sheets. We will be printing off a couple new sign-in sheets, so before the end of the meeting, once those are put on the table, please feel free to make your way to the table and fill your name in if you didn't have an opportunity to do that already. So in general, our agenda tonight has 5 total items. One item is a continuation from the last hearing. That is the Nationwide Realty case, and that is the case that we are going to begin with. As far as the order after that, we will proceed with the second Nationwide case, which is a new item, a new business item. So I will steer you as far as that goes with the order tonight. All right. So, starting with the first item of business, the variance case that's continued. That's case number VACU 25-11. I will go right into the staff report.
Okay.
All right. So this case is for the site located at 370 Green Meadows Drive South. This is a 2.076 acre lot that is zoned Planned Industrial District. The applicant is seeking a conditional use from the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow for a monument-style sign. The subject property is owned by Nationwide Realty Investors and is a vacant parcel. This is a lot that is immediately east of the 28-plus acre parcel where Nationwide Hotel Conference Center is situated. In terms of the surrounding area, to the north, the zoning district is planned commercial district. The land use there includes commercial, Get-Go Fuel Center, and other commercial uses. To the south, the zoning district is planned industrial district. Land uses are Expedient Data Center and other industrial uses. To the east, the zoning is planned industrial district. The land uses include Green Meadows Drive right-of-way and other industrial uses. And then to the west, the zoning district is planned commercial office, as well as the Metro Park-owned land. The land uses include Nationwide Hotel and Conference Center, the US 23 right-of-way, and High Banks Metro Park. As we move to the aerials, we'll start with the zoomed in. As you can tell, it's a vacant parcel, and there is a circular area on the northeast side. That is a landscaping area that includes an existing monument sign. That monument sign is proposed to be totally removed, and then that is the reason for today's conditional use request, as they intend to fully replace that sign. Zoomed out, this is at the intersection of East Powell Road and Green Meadows Drive South, about a half block or so east of US 23. All right. So staff review, this is from section 22.04A, which is the conditional use standards. So we'll jump down to A, starting with 3A. You may disregard the highlights too. Those can be overlooked. So a determination that the proposed sign meets all the following requirements, that it is a monument-style freestanding sign. The applicant is proposing a monument-style freestanding sign as shown in Exhibit 1 below. The maximum height of such sign does not exceed 8 feet above the average grade of the site, and the sign is located at a distance from any street right-of-way line as required. So according to the Exhibit 1, the proposed sign will be 8 feet 0 inches tall and meets this requirement. I will note that this is a difference from the previously proposed application. So the sign now meets the height requirement. For C, the sign does not have more than 2 sides or surfaces. The sign as proposed will have 2 sides as shown. The display area of any one side or surface does not exceed 1/2 of the total display area permitted. A single sign face totals approximately 64 square feet, when only 64 square feet per face is permitted, and it meets this requirement. For E, the total number of total display area of all surfaces does not exceed 32 square feet, or maximum of 16 square feet per side or surface, when the sign is located 15 feet from the primary frontage street right-of-way line. For each additional 1 foot setback from the street right-of-way line, an additional 8 square feet of the total display area, or maximum of 4 square feet per side or surface, will be permitted up to a maximum of 128 square feet of total display area, or maximum of 64 square feet per side or surface as permitted. The proposed 2-sided sign will total approximately 64 square feet per side and 128 square feet for both sides. Sign will be set back 32 feet and 10 inches from the right-of-way line along East Powell Road, so only 64 square feet per side is permitted. I will note that that meets the above requirements. For G, no part of such sign will be closer to any street right-of-way line than 15 feet, nor closer to any property line than the applicable building setback line if the adjoining property is in a residential district. The proposed sign will be set back 32 feet and 10 inches from the street right-of-way line, which meets this standard. All right. Now we'll move along into the exhibits. Exhibit 1 includes that monument sign site plan. This is unchanged, essentially. It's the same location as existing, which we measured as 32 feet and 10 inches at the closest point from a right-of-way line. Exhibit 2 is a streetscape rendering. Exhibit 2 is the existing street view, while Exhibit 3 is the streetscape with the proposed monument sign. So you can see that the new sign will actually be a few inches, approximately 6 inches shorter than what is currently there. And its width will increase slightly, but conforms to the size requirements for that location. Finally, we have the conditional use board analysis and criteria for the board's consideration, as well as example proposed motions. And I'm happy to answer any questions the board has at this time.
Any questions from the board?
No questions.
Just a reminder, I am recusing myself from the nationwide cases.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that mention.
I'd also like to make everyone aware that I was not here for the last meeting regarding these signs, but I have watched the minutes and taken in all of the information, and I'm prepared for a decision this evening.
Appreciate that as well, Ms. Ross.
Is the applicant here?
Dave Holtzmuller, my address is 375 North Front Street, Columbus. I'm from Nationwide Realty Investment.
Hi, Bill Brown, with Sign Co. Address is 527 West Ridge Street, Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, thank you.
For the record, would you confirm that you did vote for this warrant?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What would you like to tell us about this?
This is a resized sign that we actually, this is a resized sign. We did not present the original design last year, or last meeting, we tabled it. This now fits all the code as we understand it. And so there are no variances being asked or required of this particular sign.
Okay. Anything else? No? Questions for them?
I have no questions.
I have no
Hey,
I
questions.
have no questions either, so thank you.
Make a motion?
Hang on. Any comments
shoot.
from the audience? Going once, twice? Okay.
Thank you, Chairman.
Sure.
Sure? Yes, you
Please.
need to be up front. You need to confirm that you've been sworn.
Yes, I did. I wasn't sure if I wasn't gonna say anything about this, but I used to work right down, Laura Favre, 8117 Summit Point Place in Lewis Center, Orange Township. And I used to work right down the street from them, and just nobody could find them. So that's what I just thought I would throw that in. It's hard to see at that corner. There's, landscaping and it's mounted up and things. And I've actually had to send people over there for their hotel and that kind of thing, so, it probably would be a good idea. It's a big property, big sign, so that's all.
Okay.
That's my only comment, because sending people over there, we can't find it, so, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
I'll make a motion. Based upon the factors presented this evening, I move to approve case number VA-CU-25-11 for the property located at 370 Green Meadows Drive, South Lewis Center, Ohio, seeking a conditional use from Orange Township Zoning Resolution, Article 22.04A, to allow for the construction of a monument sign identified in Exhibits number 1 through 3 of this report in an area zone planned industrial district, PID.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Mr. Pack, seconded by Ms. Ross. Those voting? Mr. Treps?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Abstain.
And Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Variance is approved 4-0. Okay, well, we will go into the second Nationwide Realty Investors case. That is an item of new business, as this was submitted before the deadline for tonight's meeting. This is for the same location that a previous case was for last month proposed at, which is at the 23 and Green Meadows Drive, or I should say T intersection. So I will refer to the new staff report. And the site here is 100 Green Meadows Drive South, and this is that 28.6 acre parcel. This request entails seeking two area variances from Section 22 to allow a monument-style sign which exceeds the allowable display area and exceeds the maximum permitted height. Also, this is seeking a conditional use from the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow a monument sign. So I believe, and we will double check with Julie, but they will also need a variance request to allow for that additional monument-style sign per business establishment. So there will be 2 monument-style signs on the same parcel. The subject parcel is located at 100 Green Meadows Drive and is owned by 100 Green Meadows Drive LLC. And it is the location for the current Nationwide Hotel and Conference Center. So for the surrounding area, to the north, the zoning district is planned commercial and office district and includes commercial uses, Getco Fuel Center. To the south, the zoning is planned industrial district, includes Expedient Data Center and other industrial uses. To the east is zoning district planned industrial, and land uses include vacant, planned industrial zoned land, Green Meadows Drive right-of-way, and other industrial uses. And then to the west is US 23, that is High Banks Metro Park. All right. So since we have some changes here as compared with the previous application, I tried to summarize the history. Let me go right into that. Previously, an exterior modifications permit was submitted under permit number 2024-0545 and approved October 31st, 2024 for the site to undergo changes, including a new patio with retaining walls, seating walls, grill, outdoor cooking areas, concrete footers, and all of these are located along the south side of the primary building. During last month's BZA meeting, which occurred June 12, 2025, for the monument-style sign, the applicant requested 4 area variances from the Orange Township zoning resolution, including for a sign area display, maximum permitted height, a base that was less than the width of the display area, and more than one monument freestanding sign per business establishment on the same parcel, as well as the conditional use. Only the height variance was granted at 18 feet 0 inches at that meeting. The previous sign was proposed at 198 square feet of area per side, with dimensions 18 feet tall by 12 feet wide. By comparison, the sign being presented within this application is 116 and a half square feet of area per side, with dimensions of 14 feet 9 inches tall by 8 feet and 8 inches wide. In addition to the US 23 sign, a second monument sign at the primary driveway entrance from Green Meadows Drive, a little bit to the east, was presented before the BZA that same meeting and granted a conditional use, as well as granted one variance to be the second freestanding sign located on the same parcel per business establishment. Given that they're presenting a new sign, we're putting that variance back just to be crossing our Ts, dotting our Is. All right, into the aerial photo views. This is the zoomed-in aerial, and the request, I think you may remember from the last meeting, includes the sign area that is at the far southwest part of the parcel. We'll have the zoomed-in view from the applicant's plans here. And then the zoomed-out view includes the 28-acre parcel. It shows the outline there, and this is at the intersection of US 23 and East Powell Road. All right, as for the last case, I will go through the conditional use criteria. So for section 3A, determination that the proposed sign meets all the following requirements. Sign is a monument-style freestanding sign. The applicant is proposing a monument-style freestanding sign as shown in exhibits 1 through 5 below. The maximum height of such sign does not exceed 8 feet above the average grade of the site, and the sign is located at the distance from any street right-of-way line as required. According to Exhibit 2, the proposed sign will be 14 feet and 9 inches, and that exceeds the required height of 6 feet and 9 by 6 feet and 9 inches. So the maximum allowable height is 8 feet, and this exceeds that by 6 feet and 9 inches. Therefore, a variance is required. For C, the sign does not have more than 2 sides or surfaces. The sign as proposed will have 2 sides as shown. For D, the display area of any one side or surface does not exceed 1/2 of the total display area permitted. The sign, single sign face totals approximately 116 1/2 square feet, when only 64 square feet per face is permitted, so a variance is being requested. For E, the total display area of all surfaces does not exceed 32 square feet, or a maximum of 16 square feet per side or surface when the sign is located 15 feet from the primary frontage street right-of-way line. For each additional 1 foot setback from the street right-of-way line, an additional 8 square feet of total display area, or a maximum of 4 square feet per side or surface, will be permitted up to a maximum of 128 square feet of total display area, or a maximum of 64 square feet per side or surface as permitted. The proposed 2-sided sign will total approximately 116 1/2 square feet per side and 233 square feet for both sides. The sign will be set back 28 feet and 5 inches from the right-of-way line along US 23, so only 64 square feet per side is permitted. That means a variance is being requested for this. For G, no part of such sign will be closer to any street right-of-way line than 15 feet, nor closer to any property line than the applicable building setback line if the adjoining property is in a residential district. The proposed sign will be set back 28 feet and 5 inches from the street right-of-way line, which meets this standard. All right, that was it for our responses to the criteria. Continuing with the staff review is the exhibits. This is the zoomed-in exhibit I was referring to that establishes the proposed location, which is essentially the same as the existing sign, is 28 feet and 5 inches from the right-of-way line. For the following exhibits, Exhibit 2 shows the existing sign that is at 17 feet and 9 inches tall by about 7 feet and 5 inches wide. The proposed sign will be 14 feet, 9 inches tall, and 8 feet 8 inches wide. So a little bit shorter sign by about 3 feet, and then slightly wider sign, about 1.5 feet. All right, so the Exhibit 4 shows the measurement for the area per side. That does include the lettering just below the blue area on the brick, as that is referring to Green Meadows Corporate Park. All right, and just to make a comparison to the last case that you saw, previously proposed sign, 197.7 square feet, is shown on the left. The currently proposed sign, 116.5 square feet, is shown on the right. As far as the variance, this is an area variance from Section 22.04A3B that requires that the maximum height of such sign does not exceed 8 feet above grade, the average grade of the site, and the sign is located at the distance from any street right-of-way line indicated. So the monument sign at US 23 is proposed to be 14 feet and 9 inches, which represents a 6-foot 9-inch variance request. This is a roughly 84% variance request from Section 22.04A3B. For the second variance, that's an area variance from Section 22.04A3E, which states in part the following, and we included the table as that's showing you the distance that the area that it's allowed to be based on the distance setback. So with this being further than 27 feet away from the right-of-way line, that requires that the sign be 64 square feet per side and 128 square feet for both sides at its largest. The display area of the monument sign being proposed at US 23 is 116.5 square feet, which exceeds the maximum of 64 square feet of area per side or surface by 52.5 square feet. This is a roughly 82% variance request. Included that sign that you, as the BZA had approved in the last meeting, just for your reference. And below that is the third area variance that is needed. That is an area variance from Section 22.04A5, which states in part the following. Not more than one monument-style freestanding sign may be authorized for any one business establishment. An additional monument-style freestanding sign is being proposed at US 23 in Green Meadows on the same parcel as the one approved by the BZA last month in Exhibit 8, when only one monument-style freestanding sign per business establishment is allowed. All right, well, the last part is the criteria for consideration for area variance, as well as the example motions. Please let me know if you have any questions.
No questions.
Anyone? I don't think we have any questions.
Great.
Applicant, where did you go? There you are. Please restate your name and everything.
Dave Holtzmuller, Nationwide Realty Investors, 375 North Front Street in Columbus.
And you,
The sign called 527 Western Street, close.
okay, and you've both been sworn in?
Correct.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about this proposal?
We have taken your feedback, we've taken your feedback into consideration, and we have reduced the size of the ask. We have reduced the size of the sign as we originally designed it, and at this point, it is actually a little bit smaller than the existing sign that's there. We have increased the width of the base in order to make sure that that is as wide as the rest of the sign, as per code, so we're asking for less variances. And I think that we've done our best to try to accommodate all of your requests.
Yeah, just want to emphasize, it's important to have a prominent sign at this location. Property's
Anyone? Questions?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any participation from the audience? All right.
I also did not receive any kind of correspondence via email or call.
Yeah. Okay.
You ready for a motion?
Yep.
Based on the testimony received and the considering factors, I move to approve case number VACU 2513 for the property located at 100 Green Meadows Drive South, Lewis Center, Ohio, and the monument sign identified in Exhibits 1 through 5 of this report for an area variance from the Orange Township zoning resolution, Section 22.04A3B, to increase the permitted height of the monument sign from 8 feet to 14 feet 9 inches sorry, it says feet in there, in an area zoned planned commercial and office district, PC.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Ross, seconded by Mr. Trevs. Those voting, Mr. Trevs,
Yes?
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Abstain.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Variance passes.
Based on the testimony received this evening and are considering factors, I move to approve case number VACU 2513 for the property located at 100 Green Meadows Drive South, Lewis Center, Ohio, and the monument sign as identified in Exhibits 1 through 5 of this report for an area variance from the Orange Township zoning resolution, Section 2204A3E, to increase the permitted area of the monument sign from 64 square feet per side to 160.5 square feet per side in an area zoned planned commercial and office district, PC.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Ross, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Trevs,
Yes?
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Abstain.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Variance is approved.
I move, based on the factors that we've discussed, I move to approve case VACU 25-13 for the property located at 100 Green Meadows Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio, and the monument sign as identified in Exhibits 1 through 5 of this report for an area variance from the Orange Township zoning resolution 22.04A5 to allow a second monument sign at the same business establishment in a planned commercial and office district.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Trevs, seconded by Mr. McCoy. Those voting, Mr. Trevs,
Yes?
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Abstain.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Variance is approved.
Okay, so for the next one, based on the testimony received and the considering factors, I move to approve case number VACU 2513 for the property located at 100 Green Meadows Drive South, Lewis Center, Ohio, seeking a conditional use from Orange Township zoning resolution Article 22.04A to allow for the construction of a monument sign identified in Exhibits 1 through 5 of this report in an area zoned planned commercial and office district, PC.
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Ross, seconded by Mr. Trevs. Those voting, Mr. Trevs,
Yes?
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Abstain.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
The conditional use is approved. Great. Okay, well, we have a different order, as I mentioned, so I will state the next item will be another new business item, and that will be case number VA-25-12. And that is a residential zoning variance case. And I will also request if Philip would be so kind to grab the 2 sign-in sheets. That would be helpful for the audience. So while we adjust to that, and I will go to my staff report, he will return with the sign-in sheets. Thank you. We'll wait for Philip to return here in just a moment. Thank you. All right. Well, I see him returning now, so I will start going through the staff report. So this is for the property located at 4594 McAllister Park Drive. That's Westerville, Ohio, 43082. The applicant and owner here is Jennifer and Charles Kovach. The zoning is single-family planned residential district. The applicant is requesting an area variance from rezoning case 12-0223, Enclave at the Lakes, to allow for an egress window to encroach 3 feet and 0 inches into the 12-foot, 8-inch side yard setback in an area zoned single-family planned residential district. So the surrounding area, looking to the north, the zoning district, and in fact, all 4 directions around this property is single-family planned residential district. And that also is single-family residence themed in all 4 directions. We have a zoomed-out aerial for your context view, so it's in the neighborhood here. However, I-71 would border this neighborhood to the west. All right, this zoomed-in aerial shows the property boundaries highlighted in yellow, and then this lot, for your reference, is a corner lot. That's at the corner of McAllister Park Drive, and I believe that's Enclave Drive. So going to the staff review, this is a variance request from the side yard setback. It's an area variance specifically from rezoning case 12-0223, Enclave at the Lakes, SFPRD. The side yard setback requirement in the Enclave at the Lakes is 12.5 feet. The egress window will encroach 3 feet and 0 inches into the 12-foot, I believe that's 12-foot, 6-inch side yard setback. This is a roughly 23% variance request from rezoning case 12-0223, Enclave at the Lakes, SFPRD. It is somewhat faint, so we did blow it up on the next exhibit for you. Zoomed in here, there's the proposed egress window at, it would be a 9-foot and 8-inch setback from that side yard with the protrusion of 3 feet. And yep, just to correct, I believe, I will go back, that's a 12-foot and 8-inch side yard that's required, so that's why we have the 3 feet and 0 inches encroaching listed. We did take a site photo view that generally shows you the side of the house, which is opposite the corner side, so it's opposite the 2-street side that is being proposed. Last section is just the criteria for consideration for the area variance from side yard setback and example motions.
Is the applicant here?
Hello, everybody. Charles Kovach, 4594 McAllister Park Drive, Westerville, 43082.
You've been sworn in, yeah.
And Jennifer Kovach, 4594 McAllister Park Drive, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, and I've also been sworn in.
I work from home. My office is in the basement. I would love some natural light. It's, as you see, it's not my tree. That's like yards there, but the window well would not even go past the mulch bed. It's closer to my house than the air conditioner that's on that same wall. So that's,
We've also had it approved by our homeowners association as well.
Okay. questions from the board?
Questions?
If the HOA approved it, then I'm not sure what we,
Yeah.
I saw, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I saw in here, they said you have to have it done within 90 days. Are you good with that?
Contractor's ready as soon as we call him.
Doesn't matter to us, I was just. All right.
We can move this one to next month, right?
Shoot.
He needs some light.
Get some plants down there. All right.
Can we make a motion?
Yep.
Public comment.
Do you have a question?
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
other comments?
Public comments?
Is your next door neighbor here by, that is in between? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Now,
Now.
Now,
Impatient, aren't I? Based on factors discussed this evening, I move to approve case number VA 25-12 for property located at 4594 McAllister Park Drive, Westerville, Ohio, seeking an area variance from rezoning case number 12-0223, Enclave at the Lakes, to allow for an egress window to encroach into the 12-foot, 6-inch side yard setback in an area zone single-family residential district.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Pack, seconded by Ms. Ross. So those voting, Mr. Treffs,
yes.
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Yes.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Variance is approved. All right, on to the next case, and that will be, despite the agenda showing it differently, the variance and conditional use request, VA-CU-25-15. That is for the property located at 350 East Orange Road, Lewis Center, Ohio, zip code 43035. The applicant owner includes Jyothi Palakendra, and then the agent is the architect Anna Mans. The zoning district for this property, Farm Residential District. So the applicant is seeking a conditional use from the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow for a place of worship, which will include a new 56 by 141, which is 7,900 square feet, freestanding accessory building with assembly space on a property with an existing place of worship, which was approved in 2023 under BZA case VA-CU-23-10. The site includes a freestanding dwelling, which is approximately 2,800 square feet, and two accessory buildings, which are 13 by 25 and 40 by 60 respectively. The 13 by 25 building is proposed to be removed, while the 40 by 60 building will remain as shown on the applicant's plans. The request also includes two area variances from the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow for a place of worship on a lot smaller than 5 acres and to allow for a non-residential use to be closer than the minimum allowable distance from a residential district as per section 21.10. So for the surrounding area, the direction to the north, the zoning district is planned commercial and office district, as well as planned industrial district. The zoning, the land uses here include Olentangy Local School District offices and a U.S. Post Office, and that does also include the Orange Road right-of-way. Direction to the south, the zoning district is planned multifamily planned residential district, and the land uses include Hidden Ravines condo residences. To the east, the zoning district is planned commercial and office, and land use includes the toy box. To the west, zoning is multifamily planned residential district and planned commercial office district. The land uses include Hidden Ravines condo residences, which is part of the same property, and Healthy Pets veterinarian. All right, based on some history here at the property, I wanted to include that in the staff report for staff's, the board's familiarity. And this property was previously granted a conditional use in 1998 under case number 8641 for a home occupation. The first approved The use that was first here was for a physical fitness and training gym to be placed in the accessory building. In addition, the applicant obtained a conditional use from Section 7.04C of the Orange Township zoning resolution on May 18th, 2023, to allow for a place of worship under case VA-CU-23-10. As part of that request, the applicant was also granted an area variance from Section 7.04C to allow for a place of worship on a lot smaller than 5 acres. The place of worship proposed is located at 350 East Orange Road. Well, that was to clarify that it was the variance because of the property being 3.35 acres when 5 acres is the minimum required lot size per farm residential district. And then on February 29th, 2024, a zoning permit for exterior modifications under 2024-0129 was approved to allow for the existing gravel parking area to be paved. Furthermore, a conditional use for a monument sign was granted on June 20th, 2024, under case CU-24-15, and approved under zoning permit 2024-0340. Okay, the next section is the area photos, and here's the context at Orange Road and a little bit east of US 23 by several hundred feet. The zoomed-in view shows the surrounding area as described. It shows several buildings, which we'll go into a bit more detail on, that are existing on the site. All right, so before we get to the exhibits, the staff review portion describing the area variances and conditional use. This is area variance and conditional use from Section 7.04C of the Orange Township zoning resolution. This states in Section C that churches or other places of worship, provided they occupy a lot of not less than 5 acres plus 1 acre for each 100 permanent seats, over 300 in the main assembly area. The proposed use for a place of worship requires a conditional use granted by the Board of Zoning Appeals as outlined in Section 7 of the Orange Township zoning resolution. As notated above, the applicant was previously granted an area variance from Section 7.04C to allow for a place of worship on a lot smaller than 5 acres, which again was under VACU 23-10, approved May 18th, 2023. The proposed site has a total acreage of 3.35 acres, and in this application, the applicant notes that an occupancy of about 400 people is planned. While according to the applicant, the current facility accommodates about 150 people. No additional acreage is required for the number of seats, but the property does not meet the minimum acreage requirement of 5 acres and requires an area variance. So the parcel of the proposed place of worship is 1.65 acres smaller than 5 acres. This means that this is a roughly 33% variance request. For the next area variance, that's from Section 21.10, requirements for non-residential uses abutting residential districts. This states, the purpose of this section is to mitigate the effects of noise, light, and other nuisances emanating from a non-residential use abutting a residential district. Non-residential buildings or uses except parking shall not be located or conducted closer than 100 feet to any lot line of a residential district. Such 100 feet area shall include at or near its perimeter acceptable landscaping or screening as approved in the planned district of development, or in the case of the property located outside of planned district as approved by the zoning inspector. So the residential district near the property is the Hidden Ravines multifamily planned residential district, and that is to the west. The closest residential parcel in this district, which is in the Hidden Ravines, is roughly 65 feet from the new accessory building to be used as a place of worship, exceeding this requirement. Therefore, the new accessory structure will be located 35 feet closer to the residential district than as required by Section 21.10. This is roughly a 35% variance request. All right. The next sections are the exhibits submitted by the applicant. All right. So firstly, we have the new, this is the site plan for the new facility. I do want to just touch on that the area that you see is hatched includes the parking, the new parking facilities that are not currently there. And generally speaking, they will wrap around the new freestanding building that will belong to the temple. You can see, if you look closely, the existing building that is to remain, it is due east. Well, I should say that the new building will be due west of the existing building with a drive aisle to be in between them. For the next exhibit, we zoomed into that proposed site plan, and you can see the measurement that staff obtained, which is essentially 65 feet and 1/4 inch away from the residential district. So that's the side property line of this parcel. For Exhibit 3, we wanted to highlight for the board the existing arrangement next to the proposed arrangement. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, but generally you can see that existing building to the southeast. The building in the center, that 13 by 25, is proposed to be removed, replaced by parking area, and then the residential building to basically in front of all of that will also remain. Exhibit number 4 shows the building renderings of the proposed new building for reference. And then staff was able to enter the site for site photos, so I'll just quickly go through those. First site photo is showing the currently existing primary building in the background. The accessory building that's to remain is on the far right side, and then the accessory building will be removed as that white colored building sort of in the middle. For site photo 2, this is facing west, which is in the general area of where that new accessory building will be added with the additional assembly space and parking area. There are, as you can see, quite a few trees in that area, some of which will have to be removed to accommodate the new building in parking area. And then site photo number 3, that's that existing 40 by 60 building, which is proposed to remain, as I understand. This is where assembly space generally is currently. Site photo 4, facing west as well. It's just slightly zoomed out of that photo number 2. A couple more photos, I believe 3 photos to go. This is facing south, the reverse of the first photo, again showing the 40 by 60 building to remain. And then site photo 6 is the existing parking area with that 13 by 25 accessory building, which is proposed to be demolished. Last but not least is the entry area, just for context, that shows the residential building with some of the existing parking area in the front yard area. I want to make a note of the technical agency review that we had when speaking with our Orange Township Fire Department. Comments were made that indicated that the site circulation would need to be looked at with the new parking area, along with the building proximity to fire hydrants. So this, I want to make note, is outstanding. We haven't heard that the fire department has approved thus far. However, to approve of any new zoning permit, if in the event that the board was to approve of this application, they would still need to go through and get a zoning permit approved, which is contingent on fire department's review and approval for those items. So that would be a zoning permit for exterior modification or site modifications.
Eric, I have a question about that.
Sure.
If it was approved on this level, and it has not been reviewed yet by the fire department, and they find that the buildings are too close together and they need to be moved on the site, there would be no public comment as to, or review in a public meeting as to where those buildings would be, correct?
Well, I think that likely depends on the extent to which revisions would need to be made. I will also allow Julie to jump in if she has some additional feedback on that matter.
It also depends, there are a few things that it could depend on. If the board were to approve, you could also make it a condition that they have to obtain fire approval. Frankly, it is just cleaner, though, if you have all that information from, and is it normal for is it standard practice to have the fire department weigh in before
Right.
taking action. Yeah, I think it's, that way the board can make make a decision with all the information. Obviously, the applicant then knows that there's not gonna be a, nothing pulled out from under them or anything like that.
Eric, can I ask one more question? For the section 7.04C variance, can you help me understand what's different between now and what was approved on May 18th, 2023? Why is this one in here again?
Sure. Well, we are looking at this as a new conditional use. Let me back up and state that regardless of the board's decision tonight, that does not impact the existing operation. However, the parameters have changed as far as this being a expanded use. So this is being looked at essentially from square one. So the board does need to go through and give them an approval for the use as it's being presented tonight, which is distinguished from what was previously approved, which is a smaller, I guess arguably less intense use.
Gotcha. So it's because the use is expanded.
Correct.
Thank you.
But it is still a church that was approved back in '23.
Correct. So,
A house of worship, or worship.
correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. So that was the key. Regardless of our disposition, they can still remain in operation on that site within their existing
Within the
buildings and
existing
facilities.
conditional use, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I have another question.
No, you're fine.
Within our purview, in the testimony that we hear and the decisions we make, we cannot talk about percentage of green space or coverage of the lot. We cannot talk about architecture changes like a planning and zoning or planning commission could do, zoning commission, nor lighting to a certain degree, number of parking spaces, tree replacement, or the colors of the building and roof that you would typically see in a development plan. So none of those things would also come before the public in a public meeting for discussion and input.
Well, a couple things. So this is an FR1 property. It's not a planned district, so
Right.
only the standards that are within the FR1 district are what
Right.
we have that are applicable.
And this is permitted to come before us for variance, but all of those things that are typically viewed during a development plan in front of a zoning commission would be decided by staff. Is that correct?
Yep, there are provisions in the general code that we would still, of course, we could enforce if, let's say there are like trespass issues, for instance. They are still subject to the entirety of the zoning code, not just FR1. So I do want to remind you that FR1, for instance, has trespass and glare type standards. But back to the FR1 question, for that setback distance, I think the 100 feet states that there's some requirement for some buffering if it's a planned type district, or else it's up to the zoning inspector. There's really not any concrete standard about what kind of screening, for instance, how many trees exactly, like you would typically find in one of the planned districts. So there is a difference here. There's not specificity like you typically find in one of your planned districts.
Right. I guess my point is that this takes it out of the sunshine of a public meeting. And although I know we have a very qualified and excellent staff who's very capable of making these decisions, they would not be made in the light of a public meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, if it's not in the FR1 code,
Okay,
correct.
just- thank you.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that's important as we're talking about this to define what is and isn't that we're reviewing tonight. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Eric or legal counsel?
Well, questions for the applicant?
Huh?
Applicant, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
applicant, whoever. Thank you both.
If I could ask you to speak up just a little bit, it's very difficult to capture soft voices on our recording. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I start with my presentation, I would like to disclose a few things. I am currently an active member of the Orange Township Zoning Commission, and I've confirmed with Eric that this is not a conflict of interest. I'm also the trustee of the temple.
Oh, wow.
Switch the mic. Okay, I'll start again.
Is that on here?
Better? Okay. That's awesome. First, before I start, I'm going to disclose that I'm a current active member of the Orange Township Zoning Commission, and I have confirmed with the zoning officer and that this is not a conflict of interest. And it is exciting to see such a active participation from the community. You make this place better. I would like to start our presentation and why we think we should be provided this appeal. If you go to the next slide. All right. So we call this temple Sri Bhaktanjanaya Temple of Ohio. This is not a temple of Central Ohio. This is not a temple of Columbus. This is a very unique temple. This is the only place in all of Ohio where there is one deity that has the ability to, that people have, the devotees have the ability to go around it, which is why we have devotees coming from all over Ohio, from Cleveland, Cincinnati, all over the place, and spending time here and spending their hard-earned money during some of the temple events. Second, this, as mentioned in May 2023, this area was approved for the current temple operation with a temporary structure 2 years ago and with an occupancy permit of 150. What we see currently is 100 to 150 devotees coming to the temple mostly on Saturdays, and it is on a rolling basis. We don't have all 100 or 150 congregating at the same time. It is throughout the day. If you count the number of foot traffic, that is what we are counting as 100 to 150. We don't have one-time congregation. We have twice a year, we have a couple of special events. One event is the foundation day of the temple. That is when we typically see 400 devotees, again on rolling basis from morning to evening. Temple has opening hours, and temple is never open after 9 p.m. It opens at 7 a.m. sometimes, and sometimes 6 a.m. when there is events, but it never is open after 9 p.m. With the current structure, we are able to accommodate. So why the new structure? If you go to the next slide, safety. Safety is an important factor. If you see the current structure that we are operating in, it is a temporary structure. It was built as an accessory dwelling unit for a gym. This structure does not even have a foundation. And that, it is not designed for the purpose that we have currently. It is a safety risk for the community that is coming in and the people operating it. And that is exactly why we need a new building, which is a permanent structure. Now that 2 years ago, we did not have the knowledge of how much reception there would be for a place of worship like this. Now that we have an understanding, we are building a permanent structure that is safe for all. And we believe it is the right thing to do for the safety of everybody in Lewis Center. If you go to the next slide, there is a second reason why we think this is very important. It is justice. Current structure is too close to the eastern boundary of the of the current plot. And the new building will be more centrally located, and it will be equidistant from both the property lines on east and west. And what you can see is that tall mature trees, we are retaining tall mature trees for 20 feet on each side, on the both east and west side. And there is much longer, I don't know, Anna, if you can confirm, there is a bigger depth of mature trees protecting the view from the south side. So for screening purposes, 20 feet of mature trees is not generally required even for industrial complexes. This is something that we are providing because we think it is important for the community. And if you go to the next slide, what our structure ensures is safety, and it is just to all neighbors, and it meets the community needs. One additional thing I want to mention is that we will definitely go through the fire. We will have to go through the fire and the Delaware County Engineer's Office for storm drain to make sure the storm drains to the front of the, we want to do this one-time right thing. We don't want to cut corners or take shortcuts. This is one-time right thing that we are planning to do, and that is why we want to get this permit today, so that we can go to the Delaware County's office and say, this is what we are planning, and we want to build everything from ground up correctly, not operate in a temporary structure. What we are willing to consider additionally today, if you want to use these as conditions of approval, we are willing to remove the existing structure, additional existing structure that is currently being used. We are willing to remove that also, and because that will reduce the square footage of what we are proposing here. And secondly, on the west side, because that is where the concern is, the 65 feet from the current boundary, we are willing to remove the 18 parking spots that are on the west side, so there is no parking spots on the west side of the building. We are willing to do that. We currently have planned for 174 parking spots, which is 39 spots above and beyond what is required by the zoning. So we are okay with removing 18, and we are okay with not having any parking on the west side, if that is of a concern. That is all I have to present, and I hope you view this as a positive development here.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Anything to add? Get really close.
If you have any questions.
Okay.
I know it says it in here, but can you remind me what the square footage of the new building is, the new temple?
7,900 square feet.
And what's the square footage of the existing building?
2,400 square feet.
Thank you.
There is also additional building that is, additional accessory dwelling structure that is much larger, that is being already proposed to be raised. I don't know the square footage of that one. Yes.
One question I had regarding, when you're stating 130 parking spaces being required to meet the code, is that based upon 150 occupancy?
No, 400.
That's for 400, it's 130 spaces? Okay.
Are there other days of the week that you have a lot of people in the temple, or not at all?
So for weekdays, we typically have not more than 10 people.
Okay.
It's only on Saturdays, not even Sundays.
Do you have any, I'm a data person, graph or help me understand, like, what would be peak time on Saturday and what would be the most amount at that peak time? Is it 50? Is it 90? That come between a few hours?
At a single
or-
time? You're asking for at a single point of time? Or-
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, like, what are the really busy hours and what are the most people you have at one time on Saturday, on average?
So most busy hours are just before lunch, because we also provide free lunch for when there are events.
Okay.
When there are events and we also provide free lunch and no questions asked. So no questions asked as to are you a participant or a devotee or anything like that. So it is we believe it is a community service that we are doing.
And do you get 50 people on average, or a rough idea?
80 to 90, if it is a,
On the big event days?
yes. On the big event days, I'd say it crosses 100,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
One other question I have. You mentioned about the greenery around the site and property and in respect for the neighboring residential property. So on the south side, you are proposing a retention pond, basically. So you're covering a lot of the land, obviously the soil, with asphalt. So you're going to get a lot of runoff that needs to go into that retention pond or detention pond that you're proposing. Is that correct?
So that was originally the plan. After we submitted documents, it appears that the site slopes towards north.
Okay.
So it wouldn't make sense to put the retention pond there where we're showing. So it's probably gonna be closer to the road if approved later in the future.
So that changes the site plan completely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The storm drain is on the front side.
Yeah, so the site slopes towards the
Front.
Towards the north, towards Orange Road.
Orange Road?
East
yeah.
Orange Road.
Yes, so the low point is Orange Road. So just recently, within a week, we were told that the more retention pond is gonna be flying up front. I mean, to be honest, we don't have a civil engineer at this point, so I can't say, that's how this is gonna lay out.
I understand. I know we've got a lot of comments that we've received from residents, adjacent property owners, particularly concerned about runoff and flooding potential there. Legitimately seeing that we're getting heavier rainfalls with climate change, it's very sensitive on when you're talking areas of asphalt of that degree, and it's catch basins that are trying to catch it, it's very difficult. And/or you're dealing with a very expensive underground retention system that was budget prohibitive for you, I would assume. So that's the one concern that I have on just looking at the sheer coverage with asphalt for parking. And for a retention pond to work, that was the one concern that I had, frankly, on the south, is you're taking all the trees out to get that pond to work. So now that screening is gone for a retention pond by nature of the pond. So that's a sensitive issue to the residents that are to the south of the property. But if you're moving it up to the north, then again, that's a whole nother issue too with public right-of-way and the roadway there and your access to Orange Road. It's precarious a bit on how that works on your site strategy. But
What
that was just the main thing I wanted to say, at least voicing concern and understanding from our perspective of resident comments. That's quite a few regarding flooding and soil and water runoff.
We will have to go to the Delaware County engineer anyway to get the permit before we do anything. So that is a point when we will know what is to be constructed. But we believe there is a storm drain right alongside the road, and that is what is showing in the GIS maps. So we intend to connect to that.
Understood. Okay.
With a retention pond closer to Orange Road or with underground storage of rainwater?
That will be decided at that time. We will know based on what is needed to be done from the county engineer's perspective.
How does this work in terms of chicken or egg, Eric, with us not being able to know this information until they talk to the county engineer? Because this is information I would like to have to make my decision. Is that a reasonable ask?
Well, I would say if you have some concern about the site layout, especially with the details that are currently provided compared to what you want to see, you want to be confident about the parking counts and making a decision that, doesn't, overlook that there might need to be some kind of relief requested for parking if, let's say, the stormwater is needing to be increased at the county level. This is a chicken and the egg in the sense of the county will be the authority that regulates any stormwater requirements. So zoning does not have standards that regulate stormwater, whether that be
And we're
retention.
not weighing in on the retention pond.
We don't have a standard for that. And that also includes any kind of runoff to adjacent properties. That's all handled at the commercial building department level when stormwater takes a look at that time through the commercial building review process. So there is a difference here. However, yes, there could be implications for the site layout based on stormwater needs. Correct.
Which is really important for us to know, because if it has to change the site plan and shove the building all the way to the back, that poses a whole nother set of questions, and with all the parking and a building back by the residents. So you can see why this is a dilemma for us. I have a couple of questions. One is, if when you have your events, it's a very popular place when you have your events, and if you don't have enough parking here, do you have arrangements with other areas, other businesses in the area to take your overflow?
So there was only one time I can personally remember, is when the temple opening event, the annual event, and we have partnered with the right opposite to this property is the school property, and we have
Speak louder.
right opposite to this property is the school,
It's hard.
Now he's overdriving.
is the
Maybe the other microphone.
school property.
Try the other one.
It might be the microphones being close
Why
together.
don't you take it out and hold it?
Yeah?
Remove it from the holder and hold it so that you can adjust it. Just pull.
Pull out.
There you
There you go.
Okay,
Thank you.
I hope this is okay. Okay,
Better?
there is only one.
I know. The microphones are messed up.
And what, is there feedback because they're too close together, maybe?
Pull it out of there.
Hello. Hello.
Try the third time's the
Hello.
We never had this during zoning commission.
I hope. Might be.
Could they use one of our mics?
Don't hold on to it then.
If you want to try that one on the corner, that's probably safest next to Mr. McCoy. And you can still face the board. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. I hope this is easy.
Yeah.
I personally can remember about one event where the annual temple opening event, that is what happens annually, and we have contracted with we have took permit from the school opposite to use their parking spot because it was a weekend, and they agreed to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. My last question is, have you had a sit-down with the neighbors at all to try to discuss concerns before you come to us?
Can
No.
I interrupt real quick? Can the audience, like, please try to keep your chit-chat to a minimum? Because we're having trouble with hearing and everything, and it's distracting with all the noise going on. I appreciate it.
Okay,
I don't believe so.
okay, thank you.
One other question that I had regarding that, you said that the temple's open till 9 o'clock, so in the winter it gets dark. But you have light poles there on the property?
We currently do not have light poles. We just have, because currently where we operate is, there is a light in front of the temple building. Yeah.
Would you be considering that with this large expanse of parking, to put lighting?
Yes, so the foot candle will be according to the zoning requirements.
There are actually two noted on your site plan.
Okay.
Does it say new light pole on them?
I missed that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I have a comment. Being busy and having increased attendance is a good problem for you to have. I acknowledge that. However, given the myriad of unanswered questions that are within this plan that are all determined by other entities, personally, there is no way that I could vote to grant any variance this evening based on a complete lack of information on what is in plan for this area. And we can discuss it round and round and round about where this building will sit, if this building's not here, but that doesn't match what was presented, and there's too many questions to know what I would be voting on to actually approve. That's just my opinion.
Is it reasonable to go to the county engineer, or that they would go to the county engineer and get some of these things resolved so that we could have a more definite plan to review?
It's possible to submit with the county at this stage. I'm not totally certain about how far along they would get with their review prior to zoning authorization for the plan. I don't think I've encountered a situation quite like it before. However, it wouldn't surprise me if they could go at least to some level of detail, look at site suitability on behalf of the applicant.
We did have a conversation with plans examiner, and to be honest, we talked about the distance between the new building and the proposed. But to be honest, not all the details came up, especially just like I mentioned, we don't have the civil engineer involved.
Yeah.
And, it's time and money as well. To get the answer, we would have to hire an engineer, and I assume it's calculations, time,
Sure. Yeah, I think I'll echo what you've heard here, but the drainage question and the retention pond came up in comments that we've read here, but it makes it difficult to really review it without knowing exactly where those things would be. And I'm imagining we're going to hear that as well.
Yeah. Well, I can only say to what happened. Initially, we thought we have room on the south side, so that's where it makes sense to put in. However, just recently, there were some conversations in planning to move forward. We reached out to a civil engineer, and he only, in the review of the site plan, it was mentioned that putting the retention pond on the south end didn't make sense. it would be better to consider the north end, but
Sure.
that was
Okay.
just a conversation.
Eric, I have a question that was answered at the last meeting we had, and probably answered the meeting before and the meeting before that. If it was recommended to the applicant to continue their application into the future, does that have to be heard at the next meeting, or is it you're shaking?
It would have to be a time, date, place certain, but it's not required to be at the next
It could
available
be 6
meeting.
months, it could be 3 months, it could be a number.
Essentially, as far out as the BZA can agree to.
Okay.
And, yep.
Understood. And I don't know if that's, do you want to explain that to them, or is that even appropriate for us to explain?
On a high level, yeah. So the continuation is up to the applicant. The applicant has to request the continuance of the BZA, and it's up to the BZA to support or decline that continuation. So if that would be agreeable to the applicants, that's generally the way that would work.
I also see that we have a lot of people here, and I want to make sure we didn't waste their time, but I also don't know if everyone wants to speak, knowing that that is a possibility that's going to be continued. Haven't seen one like this before.
I think we should hear the public comment.
Any other questions for the applicants?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think she had something to say.
I just wanted to add that we reviewed, before the meeting, we reviewed the questions from the public. But personally, I just didn't see any concerns about the water retention.
Okay. You'll have another chance before we make any decision on anything, so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. This gentleman over here raised his hand.
Thank you. Appreciate you allowing us to be here tonight to discuss the issue. I'm the current president of the Hidden Ravines Association, and my many members.
Pardon me, sir. For the record, could you
Name?
please state your name, address, and confirm your sworn in? Thank you.
David McCormack, 8015 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center, and I have been sworn in.
Thank you.
That cover the bases?
Yep,
Okay. There's quite a few homeowners here tonight.
yeah.
And they have more detail to present than I do. But I just wanted to make the point that we're here, about 50 residents are here. And one of the issues we had is the fact that you're basically doubling, if not beyond, the size of the church on a small acreage. That's the main point, but I just want to say we're here to represent our residential stamp in the area and to make sure it maintains its value and consistent curb appeal.
Okay,
With that, I'll surrender the
okay, thank you.
podium.
And Hidden Ravines is
What?
directly behind it, right?
What?
Directly behind the property.
It's to the west and
And
south.
south,
Okay, thank you. I just
Okay,
wanted to make sure.
I'm gonna make one comment first, thank you. You're probably going to repeat each other's testimony. It would be very efficient for you guys if you only brought up something new, or say, I agree with Jane, or whoever, you know. I just want to make it efficient for you guys.
I think we've got a plan put together already with the main speakers.
I like that.
Keith, you were going to lead off, sir?
Okay,
Matt, you want to follow?
Instructions. My name is Dennis Robinette, live at 8053 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center, 43035, and I have been sworn in.
excellent, thank you. What would you like to tell us?
Thanks. Well, you know, I was at this meeting in May 18th, 2023, when the church requested their initial variance request to operate as a church on a lot less than 5 acres. And there was a lot of discussion about it, but basically what swayed a lot of people, and maybe you guys, was the fact that they said they were going to be temporary and that they weren't going to add any structures. So people's angst sort of calmed down based on what we took them at their word, that's the way it was going to be. And I was here in 2024 when they asked for the marquee because the entrance to the church off of Orange Road is kind of difficult to see, so that makes sense, right? Also during the summer of 2024, later that same year, on a warm Saturday afternoon, I believe, we noticed a lot of smoke coming out of the church. And I thought, well, maybe they're having a barbecue or something. Hell, I don't know what the ceremonies are for this church. But it just got worse and worse, and the smoke sort of permeated into our neighborhood. A lot of us had to close our windows and doors, and even then, some smoke did get into our units, into our homes. We were thinking about calling the fire department, but we just, eventually it got less and less after a while, but we didn't know what they were doing. And it kind of made us wonder, there's this small entrance to their property. And I can't see a great big fire truck getting up in there. Maybe they can, but it would be rather difficult to do that. By the time they got the hose run, if there was a fire, and they had to run a hose all the way out to Orange Road and find the nearest fire hydrant, a lot of facilities could, a lot of homes could be burnt down. Okay. The current variance request will add more than 75 new parking spaces, about an 8,000 square foot structure, which is more than twice the size of the existing building, and their estimate about 400 more folks, along with the new light pole and the retention pond, which, if I understand, they're now talking about possibly relocating. I think that's what I understood you said. The layout expands everything and pushes their facilities right up to the property line with hidden ravines, and in some cases, according to your interpretation of that sketch, I wouldn't call it a layout, is actually on the property line. The new parking spaces will now be around 55 feet from our homes on that side of the church property. So they'll be aiming their cars point blank into our bedrooms, our living rooms, and our sitting rooms. So that's a big problem. Going to be a lot more noise. I'm not saying how much, but there's going to be more noise. The retention pond, the way it's currently laid out, will bound our community on 2 sides, along with the light pole being back in area. In that area, we already have a bad enough insect problem. We don't need a new more. Going to be 75 more cars entering and leaving Orange Road. Not all at the same time, got it, understood. There's going to be a lot of cars coming and going. It's already, Orange Road and High Street's already congested enough. And it is a partially hidden driveway. They're correct, it is partially hidden. We don't need any more congestion. It's going to be an abundance, but there is an abundance of other land in this area, 5 acres or bigger, that is much better suited for a church, where you're not imposing upon traffic or other neighbors or businesses. It's away from just everything that's residential. But here, they want to stick this church right in the middle of our neighborhood. There's no doubt in my mind and in my neighbor's mind, having this church facility, especially the expanded version, is going to reduce our property values. It has to. Casually talking to a couple of real estate folks, it's going to be a negative impact. We don't know how much, it depends. But it's not a good idea. These are homes and huge investments. Homes run upwards of $600,000 currently in that neighborhood. And in all honesty, I wish I had a nicer way of saying this, and I apologize, but the church representative, I don't believe, was truthful during the original variance request in 2023 when they stated that this is a temporary location. We contend their intention all along was to make this location their permanent home. They only stated it was temporary so that their initial request would be more likely approved. I believe that this deception should be taken into account regarding the potential lack of truthfulness and accuracy regarding this variance request. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for this witness?
You'll get to speak at the end.
Good evening, board members. My name is Matthew Favret, and I live at 8117 Summit Point Place here in Orange Township, and I affirm that I've been sworn in.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I stand before you respectfully request that you deny the application for conditional use. Okay. It is on. See if I can get her up. Okay. So it said, I stand before you to respectfully request that you deny the application for conditional use and the area variances submitted for 350 East Orange Road. My concerns focus on 5 key areas: lot size, proximity to residents, stormwater management, traffic safety, and consistency with our township's vision. Adequate lot size. Section 704C of our zoning resolution clearly requires a minimum of 5 acres and a place of worship, plus 1 acre for each 100 permanent seats over the 300 in the main assembly area. This means they would need a total of 6 acres. The property is only 3.35 acres, over 30% smaller than the minimum. A parcel this small cannot safely accommodate the parking and circulation needs of a congregation, 400, 300, or less. Proximity to neighborhoods, neighboring homes. Section 2110 requires adequate buffers between non-residential use and residential districts. This proposal would place a large assembly building and a parking lot uncomfortably close to neighboring yards. Neighbors will be subject to amplified noise, evening lighting, and increased foot and vehicle traffic intruding on their quiet enjoyment of their homes. Delaware County Auditor's website use code is 511, which is a single-family dwelling. And just wondering, about, is anyone allowed to build on a single-family dwelling at commercial property or at church? Stormwater and loss of green space. The applicant proposes to convert the existing green space into parking lot and put in retention pond. Our rural drainage patterns depend on natural infiltration, and the engineered pond on such a tight site risks overtopping and structural failure. I'm wondering whether Delaware County Stormwater Management has approved this design yet, but we know now not. Who will guarantee the long-term maintenance of this pond? The failure of heavy rains could flood adjacent properties with overtopping and runoff, not to mention the increased mosquito population issues. Traffic and safety concerns. Imagine 400 worshipers, okay, so 150, arriving and departing in 2 narrow windows on worship day. East Orange Road was never built for that volume. There is no turn lane. There is no deacceleration lane, no sidewalk. Without a thorough third-party traffic study, we cannot be sure emergency vehicles could even pass. Also, with the temple that close to State Route 23, it will surely have a negative impact on State Route 23, along with a negative impact on Orange Road, east and west. Preservation of the township character. Our comprehensive plan envisions a low-density agricultural and residential use in these areas. Granting variances for large institution on substandard lot size sets is a dangerous precedent, sets a dangerous precedent. Once we erode these standards, what stops the next applicant from subdividing and seeking yet more intensive use on smaller parcels? Conclusion, for the protection of the public safety, the integrity of our zoning resolution, and the character of our community, I respectfully ask the board to deny the conditional use and requested area variances. Should the congregation wish to build here, they must select a parcel that meets 5-acre minimum requirement, provide proper buffers, and demonstrate safe access and drainage. Thank you for your time, careful consideration. I urge you to uphold the standards and preserve the health, safety, and welfare of Orange Township.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good evening. Sharon Sever, 395 Summer Tree Way, part of the community. I have been sworn in. I'm not going to repeat anything of what they said. I think you all have the facts. Our homeowners built and chose to live where they are, knowing that a lot of the lots around them could be non-residential. And they did that in faith or good faith that the zoning commission would follow the zoning regulations that you all have established to date. Our residents have been here for over 8 years, some 9, almost 10 years, and have incurred, they pay a high rate of taxes, not only for Orange Township, but for Delaware, and they deserve your attention into the matter of following the actual zoning requirements. I understand they have been, you have given them the variance to be there, but again, based on temporary, based on a smaller amount of members being there. Now with this being 400 and needing 6 acres to properly support their need, our homeowners really do deserve your attention. And I too respectfully ask that you deny the current 2 variances that they have in front of you. And I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.
Anyone else? I saw a hand, I thought.
Once again, I wasn't expecting to speak tonight, but I did swear in. Laura Favret, 8117 Summit Point Place in Lewis Center in Orange Township. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. Before my husband and I moved to Hidden Ravines, we lived at 2434 Lewis Center Road, which is 2 properties away from, it happens to be a temple, doesn't matter if it's a temple, church, whatever. We were 2 properties away from there. Their parking lot would overflow so often. People were parking on Lewis Center Road. We had accidents out there. The police needed to be called multiple times. If there was a train, heaven forbid, when they had people coming or going, traffic was backed up from the train tracks going west all the way down to Kroger, to 23, and then on the east side it would be back to Old State and even going around the corner. So they put in parking lights, we had lights, the whole area was lit up at night. And we also had cars, when they were pulling out, their headlights would go through our windows. So we had, headlights going back and forth across the front of our home. I just wanted to say that, here we go again, well, I guess here we go again, but it seems that what I can't understand, and with all due respect, if you're growing that quickly, why would you want to keep cramming people into a smaller space when you're landlocked like this? Like
find a bigger property where you will have room to grow and there won't be so much, it won't be so much of an issue that you can work with your neighbors, you know, that kind of thing.
Talk to the board, please.
Okay, but that's, well, that was basically it. I just wanted to speak from personal experience, and then, and one more quick comment was that I can just see, and I can almost guarantee, you know, if there's a train or if traffic is backed up on Orange Road, I can almost guarantee they'll come out of the parking lot, and to get to 23, they'll turn onto Highfield and then onto the Hidden Ravines Drive to get out to 23. So that's going to increase our traffic quite a bit. So, because we couldn't even get out of our driveway when we left. By the time we moved, we couldn't get out of our driveway because there was so much traffic back and forth. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a temple or any other kind of a, religious organization over there. But, that's what, then they're growing, so there's gonna be more events coming up. Yeah, right now there might be 2 on Sundays, but they had things going on all times of days, all time of the day, into the evenings, that kind of thing, every day of the week. So I just, I really hope that you'll think seriously about approving this. I really do, like I said, personal experience. So, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Yep. Questions?
Anyone else?
I'll bring them up in just a second. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any questions. Would the applicants like to speak again?
Was there anybody else from the audience?
I thought I had asked.
Okay.
I didn't see any other hands for audience. Anyone?
Okay.
And I
All
know
right.
it was referred to a
Sorry.
couple of times, but there were various emails sent to me, so I
Yeah.
made sure between the packets that all of the feedback that I received via email was included with the packets, as well as in between that last week and tonight, where we had a total of 12 different correspondences sent
Yeah.
to zoning.
And some of the folks who emailed also spoke
Correct.
tonight, too.
There was a hand back, clear back, I guess. And then,
On behalf of the applicants, or are we still with the?
no, we're still with anyone. I thought there wasn't any more, so that's why I went to the applicants. But now I understand there's 2 of you.
Did you want to speak? Oh, you
Oh,
can speak.
please.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like real estate is at a prime in
Oh,
this area,
sorry.
right?
Name and
Name.
address.
Oh, sorry.
address?
Melanie Moore, 5780 Plank Drive, Hilliard, Ohio, 43026. And I've been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
My family attends this worship center, and I don't feel like you'd get a better neighbor than them. I feel like if there was an opportunity, a lot of the things do sound like they could be worked out with the neighbors, especially because there's a lot of other laws they need to meet, right? But in general, I feel like the temple is really beneficial to the community because it is special. It's very auspicious. There's not another one like it in Ohio, so people do travel from far away to come. And it is a very different kind of worship service. It's not a scheduled, there is like a scheduled 10:30 and a scheduled, I believe, 6:30 in the evening on Saturday, but it isn't something where everybody comes at one time. It is like a very optional setting. You can come at the beginning or the middle. It's not that many people all at one time. They're not kidding. It really isn't. And whenever we come, one of the more traditional things to do is to bring fruits and flowers. So that's something they buy from your local grocery stores that we buy. And if we're staying for the full day, because we do come from Hilliard and Muirfield, then we are going to spend money in your community. I feel like, yeah, they're kind and auspicious, and it would really just be a benefit to the area. Oh, and as far as the fire goes, that's really interesting because there is a worship where they do what they call a haven, but it is a campfire size. It's never bigger than that. It never goes, more than 2 feet high. Like, it is a vehicle to speak to God through fire, and it is a campfire size. I can't imagine that would be so detrimental to the community. But there are a few things, but it doesn't sound like you're going to be making a decision today, but I feel like it's the beginning stages, and if you can see fit to allow them to abide by all the other laws that they need to abide by in order to get this structure, then it would just get the ball moving. But yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone else, I believe?
My name is Candace Fox, 424 Summer Tree Way, Lewis Center, 43035. I attended fitness classes at the fitness center, and so I know what it's like to pull out onto East Orange Road from that driveway, and it's not pretty. You know, there's no way you can make a left, because there's no way you can make a left. So it really is a traffic issue, and that was just 5 of 6 of us leaving a fitness class. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else before the applicants speak?
Yeah, and if we weren't clear before, you could be for
Or
or
against.
against, yeah.
Doesn't make any difference.
I think maybe that wasn't quite clear.
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Ram Kasarla, address 943 Little Bear Loop, Louis Center. I know, I agree with my,
Were you sworn in?
okay.
You sworn in?
You were sworn
I
in?
sworn in, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you, and respected trustees and the zoning officers. So, Indian community, I know, I was leading an Indian community for almost 10 years. So it was a very quiet community, and they involved in a lot of activities, whether it is volunteerism or community activities. It doesn't matter whether it's religious, but they involved in a lot of activities. And regarding the prices of the houses, because of the temple, I can say that the prices went up, because most of the Indian community, they want to stay closer to the temples and the churches. So they buy the houses and they bring a lot of income to the Orange Township. So that's what I can see. It may be this temple or other temple or other churches. So India is part of so we have different religions in India, so we follow, we respect each other. So I agree with, I forgot her name, but she said quite with that we are bringing a lot of taxes and we are bringing a lot of money, and it's a very peaceful community. And regarding the regulations, we can guarantee, we can work with you, maybe safety issues regarding the traffic, we can make sure whoever is coming, the customers coming to the temple, they can take the right side and they won't get involved in entering into the other community. And we'll make sure we follow all your rules and regulations, as Karthik mentioned, and we obey the laws. And there is not a big incident happen, or a fire accident, or because it's very well controlled. We inform police, we inform the fire department. I know, and maybe regarding the residents, I heard their concerns, but we can work on the timings and maybe we can present it to you in our next meeting and give us an option, or talk to our community members and let us know how we can help. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am? Oh, yes, ma'am.
We'll let her.
Yeah, there's another
There's
gentleman
one more
behind. Yeah.
Go.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
please come.
My name is Candace Sarnowski, 8144 Scenic Passway, and I was sworn in. I live on the south side, and solutions to the east and the west side have been proffered, but nothing to the south. If that retention pond goes in there, all the trees on the south side are going to die because you've changed the topography so much. I know it's up to the the county engineers or the civil engineers or something like that to approve a pond. But I doubt that that pond is going to be more than a half an acre. And I doubt that it's going to be deeper than 10 feet. So it will overflow. Where it's going to overflow to, I don't know. But I am vehemently opposed to altering the setback from a residential community. I think that's absolutely wrong, and it sets a bad precedent. I don't know if this temple pays taxes to the township because it's a nonprofit, but, there's no reason to destroy our properties on a temporary dispensation. Thank you.
Everyone. My name is Neil Patel, 4875 Royal County Down, Westerville, Ohio, 43082. We've been living there for almost last 21 years. Same house, long time. And actually, whatever is going on in Central Ohio and Orange Township alone, population is getting bigger. When I moved to Ohio in 1985, right in Westerville, Delaware County population was about 22,000. Now it's almost 250,000. And it keeps going to grow more and more because what we're talking, fastest growing city in Midwest is our city. Okay. I think a lot of different religions comes and put it together, something, all those things going on. But if you want, I can guarantee you for that, as a Hindu religious, the most peaceful religion on planet Earth. And they include everybody. You know that. If Sanatana Dharma, include everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. See, we call as a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Whole earth is our, family. And that's the way it's going on for the thousands of years. And that's the reason I want to come and talk about it. But this temple, if it goes on here, I think it's great for the peaceful community, and that we can guarantee that for that. Okay? And that whatever that thing talk about the flame on the fire pit, it won't be more than 2-3 feet high goes that. Okay? And that's the reason I want to talk about it here. But I think it's going to, do you know about right now, if I can just play video, is okay?
How are you going to play it?
It's only about not even more than 1.5 minutes.
Can we do that? Because we're streaming.
Is there a way to?
Can you email it?
No, okay, I'm not going to play anyway.
Okay.
All right? But actually right now, exactly, this video talk about it in Florida. Okay? And they talk about exactly Islamic community. They are buying left and right lot of churches, and they are converting to the mosque. And they said, we're going to take it over whole America, no matter what you do. That's what they are talking right now. Across the nation. Houston, you know what's going on in Houston. I think you saw on the news every day, right? If you want a most peaceful community is the Hindu. We can tell you, I can guarantee you for that. Okay. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna, God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you.
Any other audience?
Are you the applicant or audience? Oh, okay.
My name is Vijay Sunkat, 2030 Rockland Court, Louis Center, Ohio, 43035, and I swear in. I would like to clarify certain questions. I know a lot of people are here, but then I don't want to waste any time. So from the temple perspective, I know that one of the people was saying that was smoke, and then it entered into their houses. So I just want to clarify, because I was one of the volunteers in the temple. We wanted to have the gravel parking, and then we hired a contractor who tried to remove certain trees, and then he shredded some of them, and then the main trunks, he said, I'm authorized to burn them on the site. So, and then that is what caused the smoke. It was not from the temple, but it was from a base of the trunk, which was heavy, And then he said, I'm a contractor, he's authorized to fire them there. So it was low fire, there was no fire at all, but it was smoking a lot. And then we raised our concerns that, hey, we have neighbors, we don't want to, cause any issues to them. And then we have been pouring fire and then water, and then we finally asked him to please take it out. So that's one of the things.
So that was just one time?
Yes, one time.
Okay.
So, so that's the clarification I wanted to give. And then second thing is, as a temple, as you heard, that temple is a quiet place. I believe that we have not made any noise or disturbance for the last 2.5 years to the residents, causing anything to them, any issues to them, because we have always been announcing in the temple where we have more than 50 people saying that, hey, please be quiet, and then we always keep the doors shut and then close the windows so that the noise don't go out. And then we don't make much noise, but then I'm sure that they would have hardly gotten any disturbance from the temple. So that's because I volunteer in the evenings and over the weekends, and the main volunteering I do is I cook food for the people who come and who can have the delicious food into the temple, whoever walks in. It's not that, hey, you come in and anyone walks in, we serve the food, anytime, whatever we have. So that's what and then as you heard that we have been very quiet, we are polite, and one more question is, are we paying taxes? Yes, the temple is paying taxes for the property to the county.
Oh, the property tax.
Yeah, so that's another thing I want to clarify. And then another thing I want to lay it out is whatever funds the temple generates, a portion of it is donated to like Ohio Food Bank. So we do donate food on special occasions, and then we care for the community, and then we want to grow with the people who are around us, and also we want to grow in the county. So that's what I just wanted to make it clear certain points, because I don't want to create any impression that I'm being very goody, but then I'm just trying to clarify that believe us that we are not going to cause anything or make any issues. And then from your property perspective, be assured that the property value is always going to see the upscale and never see the downscale, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes.
I'm Naresh Saladi. I live in 1488 Little Bread Loop, Lewis Center, Ohio, 43035. I sworn in. I'm a real estate agent too.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
a real estate agent too, and I'm a devotee for the church. And the reason I moved is because the church is nearby, and I'm paying taxes, like 14K every year, right? And I feel that, like, from a traffic wise, I see that even if I go to the post office, I have trouble because it's a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
I don't know whether any way we can make 4-lane road, then there won't be any traffic issues. But from church perspective or a temple perspective, I'm a devotee, I believe in it, and it's very auspicious. And the God itself, it's a belief that says all evil forces will go off. Even I stay 2 miles away, I feel the same way. And until now, I didn't see any issues from a sound perspective. It's so silent, and we have to be silent in that area to be more peaceful. And I believe that there's some issues they're talking about. Every neighborhood has some issues, I agree. We have to mitigate it, right? If they see it, but I didn't see it. I come like every weekend, and I feel like more peaceful at the church. So that's my feedback, like saying that safety-wise, it's good to grow. In that way, it won't be any safety issues going forward. I feel that it has to grow. And I've seen like other churches are growing too at the same time to accommodate more devotees in that area. So I'm for it, and if you guys make kindness on that and have approved, it will be really great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Linda Poston, 8086 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center, Ohio. Okay, I agree with everything that the opposition has said before, but I have another point. They purchased the property, and they knew it wasn't big enough for a church, okay? So they got a variance. The variance must have been very easy for them to get, because now all of a sudden, we're only about a year and a half later, and they need to build this humongous church, which is gonna have all the lighting and everything else, which will disturb our neighborhood. So I don't understand why they didn't plan ahead and buy a bigger property to begin with. I think that's because they got the first variance, it was so easy to come by, that they just figured anytime they needed to improve the property or whatever, that they could get a variance and continue with what they want to do. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, Frank Carson. I live at 8007 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center. I have been sworn in and sworn out. So my question is, Orange Township was established in 1860. If we didn't have rules and regulations governing these buildings, we wouldn't exist today. So why are you even considering granting a variance when the minimum size would be 5 acres and probably 6 with the, there is plenty of property in Orange Township. Then let's talk about the lighting in the parking lot. You know what that's like at 9 o'clock at night to see all those lights on? The drainage, we need drainage. We don't want our condos flooded. And taking down the trees, the green space should be considered. So I would urge you to all vote against this.
All right, thank you. I'll answer one portion of that. We have to hear anybody that brings a variance to us. We don't have the luxury of saying no. So that's why we hold these meetings, and that's why we ask for input from all parties. That being said, are there other individuals that want to speak either for or against? Sir?
Can I add one thing?
Up here, please. Identify yourself.
Myself again.
Yep.
David McCormack, 8015 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center, Ohio, and I have been sworn in.
Thank you.
The point I wanted to make is there is no ill feelings when it comes to religion for my community. That's not the point. The real point is what my neighbors have talked about is the small lot size and the large footprint. But I want to make sure there's no ill feelings about religion. Everybody can practice the religion and feel free to do so. That's all I've got to say.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Going once? Oh, that popped up a hand.
Good afternoon. Santosh Kulkarni, 583 Regency Bend, Delaware, Ohio 43015. Swearing. I'm going to ask a question of morality here. So, this is a place of worship. This is a place where we go and uplift our spirituality. I welcome everybody. I do understand, I do respect all your religions, but I do understand and I welcome all of you to visit our place once. It will open up quite a bit of challenges, quite a bit of nerves in everybody's mind. When I compare some of the other businesses that have opened very recently on the Orange Road, not gonna name them, but something that interest our generation, our next generation, to do some bad habits. This is just going on the opposite side. So I believe that when those businesses can exist and thrive, we don't call ourselves business, we call ourselves a humanity uplift, a spirituality uplift. So please join us and welcome all of you. Stop by once and see our hospitality. How we are not here. We are not opponents. I don't call ourselves opponents.
You have to direct your comments to us. Pretend they're not
I
here.
appreciate it. Thank you. We are not calling ourselves opponents. One of my friends says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that means the whole earth is my family. We believe and go by that principle. So thank you for your time and I appreciate your help.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. We'll make it twice now. All right. Applicants?
So I have a couple of clarifications. Again, my name is Karthik Avadanla, 1510 Cottonwood Drive. I've been sworn in.
Okay. One other question. Can the audience hear him?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
A little loud, but not too loud because that mic goes nuts, so.
Of course.
Or if you're agreeable, you may use the microphone at the table again.
Is this audible?
Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
I will try to be in this level of voice. Again, my name is Karthik Avadanla. I'm a resident of 1510 Cottonwood Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio. I'm one of the trustees of the temple. I want to clarify a couple of issues. There was a comment made about being the new structure being 55 feet from the homes. That is not true. The actual distance is 65 feet from the property line. Okay.
To the structure.
To the structure,
Yeah.
So from the property line, not the home.
Yeah.
Just
I
wanted to
believe that
clarify that.
comment that you're talking about was 55 feet from the parking lot to the homes.
I
No?
remember
No.
it the way he said it.
Okay.
There was a comment that was made, the structure was 55 feet
Okay.
from their home's window.
Yeah.
That is not true. I just wanted to clarify that.
Sure.
Second thing, there was a question about how can a non-residential use be on FR1 property? The answer is, place of worship is a permitted conditional use on FR1 property as per Orange Township zoning. Those are the two clarifications, but we are faced with the question of either continuance or making a vote here today. The request for continuance is fair, but we are faced with the chicken and egg issue here. Whether we spend all the money with the engineer, because we all know that is a costly endeavor. We first go through that costly endeavor and then go to the Delaware County Regional Engineer, who will again refer back to whether it has been permitted by zoning or not. or we go to the zoning and get a conditional approval with zoning appeals with, you can put a condition, we are requesting you to put a condition of approval by the Delaware County engineers if you wish.
Okay.
And you can put a condition of approval by the the county fire chief as a condition. Those are possibilities because we are faced with, there are 3 bodies that we have to go to. This is the first body we came to. The other 2 bodies have clearly told us you need to get a permit before we can give you full authorization. This is the only body that has the ability to provide conditional approval. I believe that is true, and we would like to go there and spend money once we get the conditional approval. With that, we would like to request a vote today.
A vote today?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, did you have some? Go ahead. Well, I do want to say, as Mr. McCoy said, I'm not sure I have enough information to make a positive decision on this, just because not knowing where the retention pond is and kind of hearing some of the concerns here. I also want to say, someone asked early on, maybe it was one of the board members, if you guys had talked to one another. And I just want to say, personally, I think just sitting down and having a conversation with folks, you realize that you're more on the same page than the different pages. But, and to that point, the gentleman who, I think it was you, who pointed out the fire and the smoke, what was really happening there. I think, that was really eye-opening, because I know personally, if my neighbors had smoke, that would have really frustrated me, but knowing, hey, here's what happened, and we talked to the contractor and all that stuff. So, my 2 cents, but.
Okay.
Board, one additional item I'd like to bring to your attention, since there have been a couple of comments that there may be a feeling that there's not enough information for a vote of approval. And I don't know if this would happen, but just a thought that comes to my mind as well is if that the board should be aware of, if you were to deny the applicant were to get more information, there is a concern about, the term is res judicata. Basically, applicants can't resubmit the same application asking for the same thing unless there's a change in circumstance. And so something for the applicants to also consider in terms of timing and that sort of thing is that if the board does deny the application tonight, that is something that the applicant couldn't necessarily refile. But obviously if you were to continue the application, you could also table the application. Tabling the application would mean that you'd have to pay, I believe there may be a tabling fee, that type of thing.
Yep.
There wouldn't be a date certain for the next hearing, but just in terms of some potential options and things to consider as we kind of move towards the end of this matter. And I don't know if there's any other questions on kind of next steps, that sort of thing.
Understand.
Do you want to give
If you
them a
want,
minute?
I'm gonna
if you want to take a recess and have a
Can
discussion,
I
that's
consult?
probably possible.
Can I consult with my
Sure, absolutely.
trustees?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to take a 5-minute recess or 10-minute recess?
Do we have to recess?
You could,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
It's up to you, if you want to call that.
Anything we say is on the record, so we
Yeah.
just have to sit here.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
That's all I need.
So till 20 after.
If you want to move to do that,
Yes, we
you
have
would.
to
Yeah,
move to do
I
that.
move that we go to recess for 5 minutes, let them talk.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
So you move to recess made by Mr. Treps, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Treps?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies?
And gentlemen, one additional thing in terms of audience, because this is being recorded, It is very difficult when the audience is speaking because it gets picked up and the folks online and also for the record and that sort of thing. We've got a court reporter here, so appreciate your patience. They are moving to recess right now. Thank you.
So Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Move to recess for 5 minutes.
For 5
5
minutes.
minutes.
go into it.
I think so, if they do want to proceed, because...
You okay coming back? Okay. We'll have to have a vote to come back in. So, okay. I move to come back into session.
Eric.
I move to come back into session.
Second?
Move to come into session made by Mr. Treves, seconded by Ms. Ross. Those voting, Mr. Treves?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Again, my name is Karthik Avadanula. My address is 1510 Cottonwood Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio. After hearing the public commentary and consulting with our trustees of the temple, we have decided to ask for a continuance or tabling, whichever is appropriate in this case, for us to give us enough time to go to the Delaware County of Engineers to get more clarity. Obviously, they cannot provide us the permit. They can only provide us more clarity of information. We can bring that back and give us enough time to do that. And secondly, we would like to consult and talk to the neighbors, and we would invite all of the neighbors to come any Saturday, whenever time permits, between the temple hours, to come and visit and talk to us. But we will also try to reach out to as many residents as possible that are neighbors.
Okay.
Give us enough time for that. Whichever is appropriate for this, please suggest.
So there are a couple of options, and so a continuance means that it would be to a time, date, place certain. Do you, I mean, in terms of timing, 30, 60, 90 days, or even more? And so if you have, I guess, short-term, long-term, so if you think that you could narrow down short-term, then perhaps a continuance might be ideal. If you are not sure if it may take a very long time, and you don't want to set a time, date, place certain, you can table your application. What that means is that, so you can take care of some things, get yourself situated. When you're ready to come back in front of the BZA, you would have to pay a tabling fee, which would, and then the township would then republish notice of the hearing. Everyone who received notice would get the same notice of that hearing, that type of thing. So it depends on if you want a time, date, place certain, or if you're not sure and you just want the flexibility of coming back at a later date, but there will be a fee associated with, if you want to come back on a date unknown.
Can we get clarity on what is a tabling fee?
Do you know how much the table?
I believe that's one half of the original fee. I think that would be 300, either 300 or 600.
Understand. We would request to table because we do not yet know how much time it would take for the county engineers to give us that certainty and enough information that we feel confident to come back here.
Okay. They're still discussing.
And the board does not need to take any action with respect to the tabling. The applicant has the absolute right to table.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
I'm
he
sorry.
got signals from
I got a
the
signal
outfield
that
again.
we
Are you
not
switching?
able-
Never mind.
Continue.
Continuance for 60 days out.
Okay. That we need to vote on. So
Yeah.
if that's your wish, I move that we continue this up. Wait a minute.
I want to make clear that the date that the BZA has as far as regular meeting is September 18th. So that's approximately 60 days.
Yeah.
And that would be in the same location at 6 PM, in this location.
Eric, can I ask a question? Is that firm, or if they get close to that, can they push it again?
How would we handle?
So, if again, as you move towards,
September 18th.
September 18th?
Yeah.
As you move towards September 18th, if you need additional time, you can contact staff and request an additional continuance. And then the BZA could then, you would have to open the hearing on the 18th, but then you could continue it to another time, date, place certain.
Okay.
Understand.
So
So
continuance?
we would request a continuance for 60 days out for September 18th
Okay.
with more information. We'll come back with more information.
And so you will, having received that feedback, you would make a vote. So I'll turn it to you.
Okay, I move that we continue this application to September 18th, 2025. At 6 p.m.
I second.
Motion made to continue the application to September 18th at 6 p.m. At this location by Mr. Treves, seconded by Mr. McCoy. Those voting, Mr. Treves?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
And one additional item, just for the residents, since we've gone back and forth on tabling, continuing, you will, because the application has been continued, you will not receive an additional notification because the board has set the date it will be heard next. Just want to make sure that was clear.
So put that on your calendar if you want to
Put it
go
on your
back.
Yeah, add that to your calendar. Anything else?
We have one more. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean on
That's
this.
that's a very patient resident.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Thank you.
Hi, Frank Carson, 8007 Summit Point Place, Lewis Center, and I have been sworn in. My question is, since this has been tabled, if he's taking
Continue.
this,
Continued.
That's continued.
it continued, okay. If he's taking this to the local county officials and they make a change to this, doesn't that require a whole new application?
No, so the,
Why wouldn't?
Well,
well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So what will happen is if there are any updates, he will work with, the applicant will work with staff, and that information would be presented as as part of a modified, to the same application.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Yeah, Dennis Robinette, 8053 Seven Point Place. I've been sworn in. I understand what's going on, but will people in the neighborhood who are affected by this or potentially affected by it, will we get additional information?
No, she answered that. You
No.
will not.
You will not get a notice like you did this
I
time?
got that, not a notice. but-
Okay, and we won't send any additional information. You can call in and get that information, or you can show up here and get it.
Now, typically, about a week before the meeting, we will put materials on our website that's accessible on the zoning page under zoning applications, current zoning applications. So if you click onto that, you would see the packet, which includes the materials for that case. So about a week in advance, certainly by the Monday before that meeting, again, zoning page of our website, and under current zoning applications, click into that.
That's how we would get access to the updated plans.
Correct.
Thank you.
I'm sure if you can't access them on a computer, you could come here and Eric would provide them for you.
Correct. Staff is always happy to provide any copies for those interested. Correct.
Does that answer the questions about our procedure?
Good question.
All right, thank you. We're now going to move on to the next case. You all are welcome to stay and enjoy this wonderful atmosphere.
And they ran like rats from a sinking ship.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Never seen such an organized speakers. They had it all mapped out.
Leaving the ship. Shouldn't have said it that way. Sorry.
I get it. It kind of seems like that.
Thank you. It has nothing to do, there's friendly.
Both sides,
It
yeah.
has nothing to do with it.
No?
That poor girl's been bored out of her mind, has to have been.
Very, very, very good girl.
All right, thank you for your testimony. Yeah, appreciate your testimony.
Oh, you were the patient ones.
It isn't.
You're welcome.
It isn't. Sure. Huh.
I hope the same number of people show up to the Board of
You're welcome.
Trustees meeting
You
next
too.
Wednesday when they talk about the changes to the zoning code.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I agree.
And I hope I wish they were there when
All right, well,
Destroy
we're
the
at our
village.
final
Jeez.
case for the evening. I'll let the remainder of the group
Why didn't he let him go?
head out for
make
for
it
us
so
to be
you
able
can
to
build
hear.
whatever the hell you want.
All right, are we ready to?
Okay. So the final item of new business is variance case VA-25-14. That's for the site at 6417 Columbus Pike, and the applicant for this is Sign Vision Company. This is owned by the Kroger Company. This lot size is 13.67 acres, and the zoning district is Planned Commercial and Office District. The applicant is requesting a variance from the Orange Township zoning resolution, section 22, for a wall sign to be moved higher than the permitted 15 feet in height above finished grade from its current location. The sign proposed to be moved will remain the same size as the sign currently located at 14 feet in height, which is a 9-foot 10 by 16-foot sign. The existing wall sign is located on the west building elevation, and that states Pickup Pharmacy Drive-Through. Second wall sign is also located on this facade, which serves as the primary sign, and it states Kroger. On August 16, 2024, staff approved a zoning permit for the existing Pickup Pharmacy Drive-Through wall sign at the height, its current height of 14 feet above grade under permit number 2024-0378. Prior to this, the primary wall sign above the main entry, which is lettered, full lettering is Kroger Marketplace, was granted a sign height variance under case number 08-0524 and approved under sign permit 008-0672 with a sign height of roughly 41 feet from grade to the top of the sign. The subject site is located at 6417 Columbus Pike, which is a 13.76 acre lot located on the east side of Columbus Pike and west side of Rail Timber Way. Access to the parking lot is served from US 23 from the west, Olentangy Crossings east from the north, and Rail Timber Way along the northwest boundary of the parcel. The parcel contains both Kroger Company grocery store as well as the Kroger Fuel Center at the west entrance. So for the surrounding area, in all four directions, we have a zoning district of Planned Commercial and Office District. The land use to the north includes commercial uses, that's a dentist's office, daycare, and Rail Timber Way. To the south, land uses are shopping center use, which is Olentangy Crossings Plaza, restaurants, and OSU outpatient medical office. To the east, land uses are the commercial plaza, as well as the outlots for that. And to the west, US 23 right-of-way and other commercial uses. We have our aerial views. I think that you can make out the border of the plaza here, just north of Lewis Center Road. The Kroger Plaza parcel, again, includes the grocery store as well as the Kroger Fuel Center. Tighter view on both of those elements, and you can see the parking area predominantly in between the Kroger Fuel Center and in front of the store. Okay, so for the staff review, the exhibit labeled Exhibit 1, this is, we're calling it Wall Sign A. That refers to the proposed new location of the Pickup Pharmacy and Drive-Through sign that is currently located at its approved location of 14 feet above grade on the same facade that it is proposed to be moved higher at. So there's that existing 14-foot height. The next feature is showing the wall sign A at the proposed height of 24 feet and 4 inches above grade. This is a repeat, slightly more schematic view with that 24 feet and 4 inches labeled. So the wall sign is proposed to be relocated 10 feet and 4 inches higher than its current location to a height of 24 feet and 4 inches above finished grade which exceeds the 15-foot height requirement per section 22.03C1 by 9 feet and 4 inches. This is roughly a 62% variance request. The following exhibits are for your visualization to allow you to visualize the difference between the existing and proposed. I believe the top photo was taken by the applicant, and the bottom is a rendering on the backdrop of the photo. All right, and there's no technical agency review here. The final section is the board analysis criteria for consideration, as well as example motions.
So same sign moved up.
Precisely.
Okay, just making sure that it wasn't, I simplified it in my head, just making sure it was that simple.
There's some discrepancies,
Yeah.
though, on the height, proposed heights I'm seeing in the documents on I mean, for instance, one is stating it's, the top of the sign is 24 feet, 4 inches.
Yeah.
On wall sign, and then on the back exhibit, I mean, well, there, but there was another place where it
On
was.
the area
25,
variance application on the first page, the applicant says to allow a wall sign to be installed at a height of 19 feet for a variance of 5 feet.
Correct. To be clear, that 24 feet and 4 inches came from our software's review, our software's measurement. That was based on this particular plan view. So if the applicant has made some kind of an error, and this is not the correct plan to be measuring from, the applicant can shed light on that.
Okay.
However, we did base it on the scale provided in that, that specific plan view.
Yeah, there's 3 different dimensions there.
Yes.
24, 4, 25, 4, and then 19 in the application.
Good catch.
It's confusing. It seems to me, when I'm looking at the illustration of the existing proposed, and I'm just counting the brick course, it looks like they're lifting it up about 4'8", so basic to 18 foot 8 inches is what it seems on that proposed photograph, which proportionally looks appropriate to the building, instead of, you know, that frieze element at the top. You definitely don't want to be covering it. I won't say anything further. It's just, it's hard to make the vote without, or a consideration without clarity on that dimension.
Perhaps the applicant is aware of the height of the building itself. So I do see a label 25 feet and 4 inches on the drawing that we measured from.
Yeah, that's to the top of the.
The top of the building.
Whatever
Yeah, and then you
that
got-
banner or border around the top is, right?
Based on their drawing.
I assume you are the applicant? Would you like to come up and clarify this?
So I was told that it would be.
Name?
Hello, my name is Rebecca Green. I'm working with Sign Vision today, and my address is 74 Glen Drive, Worthington, Ohio, and I was sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Starting again, I was told that we would be placing this at a 19-foot height, and I'm as confused as you are about that particular measurement there, but they want it to only go 5 feet from its existing location. It's going to be the same sign. They're just going to lift it up just underneath the cornice, leaving a little brick kind of to frame it. The purpose of, I brought this, but I'm not going to, we had a long meeting, so we'll just kind of go through it quickly. This is, if you can just go kind of pop through it. The purpose of this
Would you
is-
mind speaking up just a little bit?
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
little hard of hearing.
I apologize, a little dry from sitting still so long. The purpose of this really is just because we want to keep all the traffic for pickup services on the north side of this lot. If you could, like, go to, just kind of flip through it a little bit, a little more, a little more. If you go back there, that's what we're wanting it to look like. It currently looks, if you can go back one, it currently looks like this. And so it's a little low and it gets blocked by trucks and pickups and delivery items, and our goal is to keep all the traffic on the north side of this lot. So if you could scooch along a little bit more on the, again. So you can see here that this is a pretty substantial parking lot that's been put together. The facade of the building is not right against 23. It's obviously covered by the outlots and the commercial uses there. It's quite a long way from the access points to Kroger across that parking lot, and we want to keep all those guys, all those traffic people who are wanting to use our pickup services and our drive-through services, we want them to go up north and then straight east to those services. So when you're hitting that lot, you're not in a place where people are walking or putting their carts away or trying to control the kids and put the groceries in the back. We want everyone on that north side. So if we could go a little farther. And the purpose, obviously, it's quite a long way as you access that lot to the sign. So if we lifted it a little bit, then it would be easier to see. And that's really what we're doing. Here's a view of one of the access points. You can see if you can kind of see it over there behind some pickups. And then let's go again. And this is the north side of the building where all the pickup services are. You can see the row of the curbside pickup locations, and then of course the canopy where the drive-through pharmacy services are. If we could go a little farther. From the aerial view, you can see just above the green landscapey area, that area there is where the pickup services are. And again, our goal is just to keep people moving on the exterior part of this lot, towards these pickup and drive-through services. And we believe that pushing that up a little bit will help us keep that lot safer. And that is the purpose of our variance. I don't know what else is in there. These are the signage on in the pickup area. And then just a little summary. I'm happy to take any questions.
That's good.
No questions here?
That's good.
And I'm just wanting the 19. I don't want the,
Yeah.
I would make a motion to approve if we are certain that the language is correct in the approval now based on the 19 feet.
It looks like the applicant is, so the sign drawing that says Cummins, that's the one that we had measured from. It sounds like that's not the one that they're requesting, that they're only requesting 5 feet.
Correct.
So, yep, okay. So that's the variance request that they're asking for,
Okay.
is 5 feet.
So on page,
Page 7.
Yeah.
yeah,
It says-
That's what I'm trying to figure out is
we change it
to be
from-
9 feet 4 inches above the allowed 15 feet 0 inches. Are those the correct numbers now, or?
No.
Nope.
So that would need to be revised to 5 feet and 0 inches.
Okay.
Is the applicant, are you okay with that?
yes.
Okay.
And I then will make a motion, based on the testimony that we've heard and factors considered, I move to approve case number VA-25-14 for the property located at 6417 Columbus Pike, Lewis Center, Ohio, 43035, seeking one area variance from Orange Township Zoning Resolution Section 22 to allow for the wall sign identified in this report as wall sign A to be 5 feet 0 inches above the allowed 15 feet 0 inches in an area zoned planned commercial and office district, PC. Anybody second that motion?
Wait,
Wait,
wait.
we just mean to
5 feet
clarify.
above 15 is 20.
And so
That's
we
where I'm-
just need 4 feet,
That's what I'm confused about.
modify to 4.
4 feet? Okay. Let me go back over that.
Okay.
Based on the testimony and the factors considered, I move to approve case number VA-25-14 for the property located at 6417 Columbus Pike, Lewis Center, Ohio, 43035, seeking one area variance from Orange Township zoning resolution section 22 to allow for the wall sign identified in this report as wall sign A to be 4 feet, 0 inches above the allowed 15 feet, 0 inches in an area zoned planned commercial and office PC district.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. McCoy, seconded by Ms. Neff. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff? And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Variance is
Thank
approved.
you, thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Sorry for
I intended to
pay you
move
by
that,
the
but I
hour.
could barely read it after all evening.
Drive safely.
It ended well, yes.
Next time, we need to move everything ahead of. I didn't realize she was sitting there.
That was the wrong one.
Whew.
So I think we have 2 more items to discuss, albeit briefly. One being the minutes that were sent out. I didn't know if everybody had a chance to review those. Those would have been from the May meeting. I have not gotten June's. Wanted to see if anybody had feedback. I don't believe anybody has emailed me with any comments.
No, I emailed you saying I didn't have comments.
Correct. Yep.
But
I
That was your
didn't.
comment.
I'm really sorry, I just did not have, because of some family commitments, I did not have time to
I
review
also
them this
did not
time.
review them.
So if you wouldn't mind waiting another month.
And we'll
I'd like to
probably
look
have
at them.
June's along with it.
Okay.
June will be
So
on it too.
Not make a motion on that tonight. The last item, we wanted to, based on internal discussions, we wanted to see about your openness or your schedule availability for talking again about the zoning code rewrite. We haven't had a discussion at the BZA for approximately, I think it is coming up on 1 year, and in that time, certainly the code has changed quite a bit as far as some draft modifications that were made via zoning commission discussions, and also soliciting feedback of some of you who have provided that to me. So we're grateful for your participation there. So I wanted to talk to you and see when your schedules might allow us to discuss next month. And we do have, I realize, a BZA meeting scheduled for August 21st. We would plan to do a standalone meeting, especially because we have some business likely for that. And so I wanted to see if you, it could be a Thursday, if anybody has feedback about August and their schedules. Likely we could do a 6 p.m. meeting, and it could be on a Thursday, on the 14th.
Is this prior to approval of those changes by the Board of Trustees, or?
So the Board of Trustees is planning to open discussions at their next meeting, but that, to my awareness, that's going to be a lengthy process of multiple meetings. So this would, timing-wise, this would allow you as a board to review and to provide more feedback or just ask questions or combination thereof.
So our feedback complements the feedback you receive at the trustee meeting.
Correct. This would be an opportunity for you to
Okay.
do so. Absolutely.
I have a pretty busy Thursdays, of course, that month. Could we set it up for the 28th? And if we don't have enough on the agenda for the 21st, that we could push it onto there? Or do you, because of notices or whatever, does that mess it up?
To me, I believe the 28th is viable. Let me check one other source.
But if that's not good for everyone else, I can,
I'm okay with the 28th.
Any other feedback or thoughts on the 28th?
I think
It's fine with me.
Good with
The
me.
excitement of talking about zoning regulations.
I'm old school and have a paper calendar that's at home, so
We could do
but
it
I'm
on,
pretty
we could
sure
do it
I
on a Saturday night if you guys would like to do it.
there would have to be beer involved.
exciting stuff. What did you say?
There would have to be beer involved.
Well, then it couldn't be here because I happen to know this is an alcohol-free.
Thanks for the disclaimer. And I don't see anything on the township calendar for that date. So if everybody is open to doing it, would be a special Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to discuss the code rewrite. That would be for August 28th at 6 PM, right?
Okay. You'll send a notice out?
Yes, we will send reminders out. Yep. This would be a public meeting, so public could attend if they had any comments for that meeting.
So we have to send notices to everyone in the township?
Yeah, on the website.
Yeah, the minimum, certainly you'll see that on the calendar on the website. If someone wants to make a motion?
I move to
To have the meeting?
have the meeting, schedule a meeting for August 28th at 6 PM to discuss the zoning code rewrite as proposed.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. McCoy to schedule a meeting for draft zoning code discussions. Again, August 20th at 6 PM in this location, 1680 East Orange Road. Seconded by Mr. Treves. Those voting, Mr. Treves?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Motion is approved. So we will see you also on August 28th. Now, that's all the business I had tonight, so if anyone doesn't have anything else for the good of the group.
Okay, I move we're adjourned.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we get an extra $3 for that August 28th?